Hi explorers, the dream of a garden overflowing with rich, royal purple, but have no idea where to begin? Maybe you've flipped through a magazine, seen one of those stunning purple landscapes and thought, well, that's for the experts. What if I told you that creating that majestic garden is way easier than you think? In this video, we're diving into 7 incredible purple flowers that are not only gorgeous, but surprisingly simple to grow. We'll cover everything from a flower that puffs up like a balloon to one that's a master of disguise. By the end, you'll have the perfect shopping list to transform your backyard into a purple paradise. So let's get our hands dirty. First up is a flower that's as fun as it is beautiful, the balloon flower, or Platycodon grandiflorus. Why the name? Because before the flowers open, they swell into these perfect, puffy, balloon-like buds that are almost impossible not to poke. It's one of those whimsical plants that brings a touch of magic to the garden, and kids absolutely adore them. But the fun doesn't stop there. Those buds burst open into brilliant, 5-pointed, star-shaped flowers in a stunning shade of violet blue. These perennials are tough, reliable, and live for ages, making them a fantastic addition to your garden. They're hardy in USDA zones 3 through 8, so they can roll with a wide range of climates. For the best performance, plant them somewhere that gets full sun to partial shade. If you're in a place with scorching summers, a little afternoon shade will be their best friend. They prefer well-drained, slightly acidic soil, and while they can handle a little dryness, they perform best with consistent moisture. A quick tip for balloon flowers: be patient with them in the spring. They're one of the last perennials to wake up, so you might think they didn't make it through winter. Then, just when you're about to lose hope, you'll see their little asparagus-like shoots appear. Because they have a deep taproot, they hate being moved, so find them a forever home where they can settle in and reward you with blooms for years to come. Next on our list is a flower that is the definition of elegance, the Purple Calla Lily. While not true lilies, these South African natives are part of the Xanthidischia genus, and the purple varieties are typically stunning hybrids. With their dramatic, trumpet-shaped blooms in shades from soft lavender to deep velvety purple, calla lilies are absolute showstoppers. In the language of flowers, the Purple Calla Lily speaks of admiration, charm, and royalty, making it a truly special flower to have in your garden. In warmer climates, zones 8, 10, they're herbaceous perennials. But if you're in a cooler zone, don't sweat it. They are incredibly easy to grow in containers that you can bring inside for the winter. In fact, they make fantastic houseplants with bright, indirect light. Whether in a garden bed or a pot, the secret is rich, well-draining soil. They like to stay consistently moist, but despise soggy feet, which can cause their rhizomes to rot. A good rule of thumb is to water them whenever the top inch of soil feels dry. As for sunlight, they're pretty adaptable. In cooler areas, they'll thrive in full sun, but in hotter regions, they appreciate some partial shade, especially from that intense afternoon sun. During their growing season, you can feed them every couple of weeks with a balanced, water-soluble fertilizer. Just don't go too heavy on the nitrogen, or you'll get lush leaves but not many of those incredible flowers. Now let's talk about a true garden classic, a shrub that's been loved for generations for its intoxicating scent, the lilac, or Syringa vulgaris. You simply can't have a conversation about purple flowers without mentioning lilacs. The fragrance alone is enough to transport you back in time. In the spring, these large shrubs erupt with huge cone-shaped clusters of tiny flowers, filling the entire yard with one of the most iconic perfumes of the season. Lilacs offer a beautiful spectrum of purples, from the palest lavender to deep wine-colored hues. There are some incredible varieties to check out. Sensation is a showstopper, with deep purple petals neatly edged in white. For a rich dark purple and that classic lilac aroma, Andenken and Ludwig Spath is a fantastic and popular choice. These are hardy, low-maintenance shrubs that demand full sun. The more sun they get, the more flowers you'll get. They aren't too picky about soil as long as it's well-drained. Lilacs are perfect for creating a fragrant hedge as a statement piece in a border, or as a stunning focal point. Some modern types, like the Bloomerang series, even rebloom with a smaller flush of flowers in the summer and fall. The single most important thing to know about lilac care is when to prune. Only prune them right after they're done flowering in the spring. If you wait until summer or fall, you'll accidentally cut off all the wood that was going to make next year's flower buds. All right, we're just about halfway through our list. I'm curious, what are your favorite purple flowers to grow? Do you have a go-to that you plant every year? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what's blooming in your garden. Sliding in at number 4 is the magnificent Gladiolus. If you're looking to add some serious vertical drama to your garden, this is your flower. Known for their tall, majestic flower spikes, Gladiolus or glads make a bold statement. The purple flora variety is especially stunning, with large, velvety, violet-purple flowers that emerge from buds so dark they're almost black. Glads are technically tender perennials grown from corms. In zones 7, 10, you might get away with leaving them in the ground, but in colder climates, they're usually grown as annuals. You plant the corms in the spring after the last frost, and they typically take about 10 to 12 weeks to bloom. They are a breeze to grow and take up very little garden space horizontally, making them perfect for tucking into the back of a flower bed or planting in big groups along a fence. They need full sun and well-drained soil. One of their best features is their long bloom time. The flowers open from the bottom of the stalk to the top, so a single spike can look fantastic for up to 2 weeks. For an even longer show, you can plant a new batch of corms every 2 weeks from your last frost date until early summer. They also make spectacular cut flowers, letting you bring that amazing color and height indoors. A stalk in a vase can easily last for over a week. Number 5 on our list is the delicate and charming purple anemone, also known as the windflower. Anemone coronaria grows poppy-like flowers with silky, jewel-toned purple petals that usually surround a dramatic dark center. They're a fantastic choice for a pop of brilliant color in borders, rock gardens, or pots. These are low-maintenance perennials, hardy in zone 7, 10, where you can leave them in the ground to naturalize. In colder zones, you can lift the tubers and store them for the winter, or just grow them as annuals. What's great about these anemones is you can stagger their planting to control their bloom time. Plant the tubers in the fall in milder climates for a late winter or early spring show. In colder climates, plant them in the spring for beautiful early summer flowers. They do best in a spot with full sun to light shade and have to have well-drained soil to keep the tubers from rotting. Before you plant the funny-looking knobby tubers, it's a good idea to soak them in water for a few hours. This rehydrates them and gives them a nice head start on sprouting. Anemones are also a favorite for cut flower arrangements thanks to their long stems and vibrant colors. In the garden, they have a lovely habit of closing up at night and reopening in the morning sun, which adds a bit of life and movement to your flower beds. All right, time for something a little unexpected. Our 6th plant is one you might be more familiar with on a dinner plate. But if you let it flower, it produces one of the most incredible purple blooms you will ever see, the Globe Artichoke, or Cinera cardunculus. If you can resist harvesting the edible buds, they will erupt into enormous thistle-like flowers of a stunning electric purple. These blooms can be 4 to 6 inches across, and are an absolute magnet for bees and other pollinators. But it's not just about the flower. The plant itself is a work of art, forming a huge clump of deeply cut silvery green leaves that add a bold architectural feel to the garden. Globe artichokes are perennials, hardy in zone 7, 10. They need a spot in full sun with plenty of room to stretch out, as a mature plant can get up to 5 feet tall and 4 feet wide. They love fertile, well-drained soil. While people often grow them in vegetable gardens, their dramatic look makes them a perfect fit for an ornamental flower border. They're pretty straightforward to grow. You can start them from seed, but it's often easier to use offshoots from an established plant. They are hungry plants and appreciate rich soil and consistent water, especially as the buds are forming. Trust me, sacrificing a few artichokes for the dinner table is worth it for the incredible flower show. Finally, we've arrived at number 7, and this one is a true marvel of nature, the Bee Orchid, Ophrys apifera. Now, this isn't something you'll likely find at your local garden center, but it's so fascinating it had to be on the list. Native to Europe, this orchid is famous for its unbelievable flower, which has evolved to perfectly mimic a female bee. The fuzzy brown lower petal has yellow markings that look just like a friendly bumblebee resting on the flower. This brilliant trick is designed to attract male bees, who in trying to mate with the flower, end up pollinating it. It's an incredible example of evolution and a guaranteed conversation starter. Growing a bee orchid is a challenge, and is often a holy grail for dedicated collectors. It's hardy in Zone 6, 9 and needs well-drained, gritty, alkaline soil, which often means growing it in a special container mix or a dedicated rock garden to get the conditions just right. They prefer partial shade and need to be watered sparingly as they are extremely sensitive to soggy soil. The leaves appear in the fall and last through winter, with the flower spike emerging in late spring or early summer. It's truly a reward for the patient gardener, but seeing that unbelievable bee-like flower in person is an experience you won't forget. So there you have it, 7 very different but all very gorgeous purple flowers to help you create that garden you've been dreaming of. We've gone from the playful pop of the balloon flower to the sheer elegance of the calla lily, and all the way to the mind-bending mimicry of the bee orchid. Each one brings its own personality and charm. Building a beautiful, vibrant garden doesn't have to be some impossible task. With the right plants, you can easily turn your yard into your very own purple paradise. I hope you enjoyed this tour of purple beauties and feel inspired to get out there and start planting. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for more garden tours, tips, and inspiration. And if you're looking for more ideas, check out our video on fast-growing flowers you can start from seed right here. Thanks for watching, and happy gardening!